I'm really excited to hear about what is happening in Connecticut and New York, because we aren't there yet as a state in Florida. And what we know is that we are ground zero for the adverse impacts of climate change, with sea level rise, more intensified hurricanes, and the extreme weather events that we're seeing. So it is incumbent on us to take a leadership role and advance initiatives at the local and state level to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions. Toward that end, back in 2009, Southeast Florida counties and cities came together and created a regional climate compact and a plan that initially had about 100 steps that cities and counties committed to take. They shared methodologies, they shared the projections for sea level rise, and they started planning for how to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. So knowing that the transportation sector, as you said, Alex, is the single largest source of regional emissions, it's incumbent on the state to take the kind of action that I just heard from Senator Will Haskell they are doing in Connecticut with the Clean Air Act, not only setting standards and goals, but funding. And that's going to be really critical for Florida. Miami-Dade County has actually taken the lead and created a climate action strategy, which they launched in October 2021. And it describes all of the multiple fronts for Miami-Dade to reduce its greenhouse gas emissions 50% by 2030. They've got partnerships within the county. We've got 34 cities, and are beginning a partnership with Miami-Dade Public School District. The county itself has actually already purchased and has seen delivery on 33 new electric buses for our transit system. They committed to fund 75 by next year and have placed those orders. They received some funding, I believe it was about 19 million from the Volkswagen settlement to assist them, and they have a transit surtax to assist them. Their climate action strategy for the county refers to Miami-Dade County Public School District in its introductory comments by saying a prime example of the collaborative strength of the climate action strategy is what the Dade County Public Schools has done with their Clean Energy Task Force. And the report outlines how public schools will seek to achieve 100% net zero clean energy by 2030. They had several recommendations. They pledged to move forward with the order of school buses, and with the funding from initial funding from the Volkswagen settlement, which came into Florida through the Department of Environmental Protection, grants allocations were made to, I believe it was 7 counties throughout Florida, Miami-Dade being one of them. And Miami-Dade Public Schools made a commitment and has just ordered the first 10 electric school buses, which I believe will be the first electric school buses in the state of Florida. We're going to hear from our school board member and our sustainability director in a few minutes with more detail about that. But it is taking a leadership role that we are really very excited about, not only because of the reduction in greenhouse gas emissions, but as we've heard, the significant health hazards to lung development and even to brain development in children by sitting on a school bus twice a day, 5 days a week. It is critical that Miami-Dade County Public Schools make the full transition to an all-electric fleet to eliminate these hazards. And we look forward to the opportunity to seek funding additionally through the Inflation Reduction Act, which is the largest climate investment ever. That funding is coming through the EPA, the Clean School Bus Program. We will be applying for funding over the next several years through that program. And hopefully the state will step up to the plate just like Connecticut and New York are doing. That'll be our project over the next couple years, is to take a lead and go forward to the state and ask them to take that kind of action to set standards and to invest in clean transportation for school children throughout the state of Florida. We are happy to have the assistance of the World Resource Institute, as well as the Southern Alliance for Clean Energy and Clean Cities Coalition and the Alliance for Electric School Buses. There are lots of wonderful collaborative efforts that can be put together to put us on a trajectory in South Florida, and especially in Miami-Dade County, where we take a lead in enhancing and eventually having a full fleet of clean transportation.